Good morning, 4:37. Turning to farm news now. In this week's USDA Crop Progress Report, nation's corn condition unchanged at 69% good to excellent. Soybeans unchanged, 63% good to excellent. In top producer Iowa, corn stayed at 82% good to excellent. Minnesota 88, North Dakota 74, and South Dakota 77% good to excellent. Spring wheat harvest up to 75% for the U.S. 47 is average, so we're way ahead of the game. North Dakota 70% harvested, Minnesota at 92, South Dakota 86% spring wheat harvest. North Dakota soybeans remain 73% good to excellent condition, Minnesota at 80, and South Dakota 76%. But a new study says the drought will cost California close to $3 billion this year alone. Wildfires continue to race through brush that has been baked dry by 4 years of drought. Reporter Ben Tracy explains how farmers there are paying the biggest price.
It's harvest time in California's Central Valley. And the number one thing on farmer Joe Del Bosque's mind is water.
It is such a big issue that we don't even know what number 2 and 3 are. Our trees are dying.
To keep his almond trees alive, he's paying 7 times more for water than he did before the drought. That's why he's left nearly 40% of his land unplanted.
We are right now operating year to year, and if we don't have water next year, we stop operating.
Half of all the nation's fruits, nuts, and vegetables are grown here. But that bounty is on the brink. The drought will cost California's agricultural economy $1.8 billion this year, and 10,000 seasonal workers will lose their jobs. More than 500,000 acres of land have been fallowed. Desperate farmers are pumping billions of gallons of water out of the ground every day. A new report from NASA shows that's causing the land to literally sink, up to 2 inches per month. Concrete canals are buckling, and bridges now sit right on top of the water. You mean the ground is actually collapsing?
Right, exactly.
Government scientist Michelle Sneed says in some places the land has dropped 10 feet. We would have had many, many feet of dirt above our heads right now.
That's right. That's right. We'd be standing 10 feet higher than we're standing right now.
Which may explain why so many farmers here feel they are sinking under the weight of a deepening drought.
Now, some wells are now 2,500 feet deep. That's a half a mile deep. That's 2 Empire State Buildings underground. Water that deep, thousands of years old. The much maligned Waters of the U.S. rule and the attempt to stop it had its day in court in Fargo last Friday. 13 states, led by North Dakota, argued that the rule change, an enhancement to the 1970s Clean Water Act, goes too far in expanding the federal authority to regulate waterways. The American Farm Bureau started a campaign called Ditch the Rule over a year ago, saying this is a rule that simply can't be fixed.
We think the current rule is so flawed that would be impossible. What we're saying is EPA will have no funds to implement the rule. They need to pull it back and then start over developing a rule and use the process correctly. You know, they played very fast and loose with the administrative process that it takes to put a rule in terms of the outreach, in terms of listening to comments from interested parties. And so they need to go back and really listen this time, really listen to what will work and what won't work. Farmers and ranchers want clean water as much as anybody else, and I think we do a pretty darn good job, but many times we don't get credit for it, and overlaying a government command and control bureaucracy where some guy on a desk in Washington, D.C. points a finger at a map and says, oops, that's the waters of the U.S. You have to quit fertilizing and putting out any chemicals, and oh, by the way, you can't plow across it either. You know, that just doesn't work for American agriculture.
Friday, federal judge Ralph Erickson did not say when he would issue a ruling or an injunction to block the rule, which goes into effect this Friday, the 28th. However, that injunction could come as soon as tomorrow. The Food and Drug Administration's plan to require reporting on animal antibiotic sales species by species is running into strong industry opposition. As expected, the FDA says sales data by cattle, hogs, chickens, and turkeys would help the government track how drugs are being used and curb the spread of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. But industry groups say the data would be difficult to produce. misleading, and could be used to unfairly target segments of the industry. Now, the deadline for comments on the plan was last week. As the price of beef continues to rise, some people are resorting to an unusual crime. Local meat markets tell us the price you're paying for beef has gone up over the past few months and will be even more expensive during the holiday season. Now, while some people may be upset to shell out more for a hamburger, others are taking it to a whole new level. Cattle theft on the rise. In fact, dozens were stolen this past weekend out in Ward County, North Dakota. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Nicole Johnson explains more about how people are committing these crimes, how it could impact your pocketbook.
You always got some of your bad guys who are always trying to pull something.
Fred Erickson used to be a deputy who dealt with people. Now he's a deputy who deals with animals.
You know, somebody's missing some cattle, you start looking around.
He investigates for the North Dakota Stockmen's Association. And lately, they've had a lot of trouble with people stealing cattle.
One time there was cattle out of Bismarck that didn't get paid for. We found them down in a sale barn down in Iowa.
Anything from a neighbor taking a cow and branding it as their own, to thieves preying on cattle wandering down the road, trying to make a fast buck.
They just loaded and took off.
He says there's even scammers out there forging paperwork, making it look like they own those animals.
It all trickles down, you know, like where he starts having problems, well, then he's not buying from the next guy.
One cow goes for around $500, which is a felony itself. An even bigger deal when people are stealing dozens.
Any kind of business or anything like that, if they lost $500 on a spot, that's a bad deal.
He says the solution is making sure all animals are branded, but it's not foolproof, impacting farmers and consumers. At the end of the day, when theft goes up, those buying beef will eat the cost. Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
Sheriff's Department in Ward County asking the community for help finding the person who stole the cattle. North Dakota Stockmen's Association offering a reward for the return of the animals. Here's a picture of the brand many of the cattle have. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Ward County, North Dakota Sheriff's Office. All right, it's 4:44. Right after the break, we're coming back, checking the forecast, which is pretty fine. There are some thunderstorms along the Red River of the south.